Clark struggles to help Jordan, who is grappling with a new power. Lois enlists Clark's help, which leads to a surprise encounter. Hello, everybody. I'm Steve from VALHARTV, and today I'll be reviewing Superman and Lois Episode 7. Now, this episode picks up right where we left off, just like last episode. We see Clark flying Jordan to the fortress to find out what's going on with him. We also end up seeing Lois digging into the Edge mystery a little more in this. And I really like the everything that they're doing with Edge right now. And we finally see Edge in this start to move forward with his plans, but we really don't know what they are per se or why, other than the fact he's trying to use the X-Kryptonite to make more people like his assistant Leslie. I believe that's her name. And we really get to see that Lois is enlisting Lana's help too in this. So I thought that was really cool, because now we're really starting to see this this mystery start to build. And we do get like an answer or two in this episode about what he's doing, but it's not like a lot. It really. So I really kind of like that. Jordan struggles, of course, with a new power, and he gets mad at Jonathan for talking to Sarah. And we really see that, you know, Jonathan is not happy about Jordan, like, listening in and trying to spy on him, you know. And honestly, I think the dynamic between these two is great. It's been great, but the problem is they keep going back and forth. You know, they're like real brothers, to be honest with you, that are struggling with a lot of different things, but it's really, again, just been back and forth like every episode. Like, they get in a fight, but then all of a sudden they're back to being friends, they're back to being brothers, and then they get in a fight again, and it goes back and forth. And I'm hoping that they really kind of slow down on that and stop it, because I honestly really want to see them get along more, because when they get along together, they're phenomenal. Like, they really, really bring some great things to the show. Like, the dynamic to the show is fantastic when they're getting along. And yeah, I get everybody, you know, gets in a fight with their brothers or sisters, you know, but this has just been happening for 7 episodes, and I'm to the point where I'm like, listen, you know, let's see what they can do together. And in this episode, we get to see that a little bit, where they're actually working together. And I really, really want to see more of that. And I even want to see them start to help their parents out more, you know, with things that are going on. And that brings us to Marcus in this episode. And we see that he's still scheming, you know, he's still trying to work on his little AI assistant, you know, and Lois ends up confronting him, and she wants the truth. So what does Marcus do, of course? He tells her just enough to get her to continue to work with him so he can use her to get to Superman. And he's very driven on taking out Superman, that he doesn't really care what Edge is up to. You know, he tells Lois just enough to get her to agree to continue to help him. And I really liked Marcus in this episode. He was absolutely phenomenal in it. And we really see towards the end, too, we get a really big reveal at the end of this that is so well done that it's really good. And Clark and Lois have to make a decision on what they need to do with the boys, you know, and they talk to them at the end. So I thought that was phenomenal. And the effects in this were good. I did like the effects in the fortress where they go in and we get to see like a brain scan of Jordan. But my problem with the fortress is it doesn't look as good as what was in Supergirl. And we see that in Supergirl in season 1, that's actually Superman's fortress that Supergirl just uses. But she ends up taking it over in the end. And for this series, Superman and Lois, they're using just a cave. And I was like, how is that really the Fortress of Solitude? I mean, like, the entrance looks kind of cool, but then they go in and he just puts his crystal in just this pillar, and that's it. There's, like, nothing else, really, and it's just a cave. And I'm like, that's not the Fortress of Solitude, you know? That's not the Christopher Reeve one. That's not the Supergirl one. You know, I mean, if this is supposed to, you know, take place in the multiverse, he should have something similar to that. You know, to either one of those, but he doesn't. So I was disappointed in that again. But the fight scene at the end, I was really impressed with. It was actually quite well done. And the way that they do things with the lights in it as well, like the red lights, were really good. And I just enjoyed it over thoroughly because we really get the, you know, the reveal in that. And especially towards the end is where we really get the whole reveal for this. And again, Marcus, I thought was really great in this episode. The way he just really kind of goes out of his way to do some stuff just to get Lois to trust him a little enough to continue to help him, but he's using her at the same time was great because she's still super suspicious of him, but she's still willing to work with him because she's trying to find out what Edge is up to. And Marcus is like the only one who kind of knows what's going on. So I really can't I really can't wait to see where this is going to go. With the big reveal at the end of this episode, Lois and Clark have to make a decision in this. So I really did think that was very good. And we also get to see Edge stepping up his timetable for what he's planning to do, you know. So really, this whole episode, again, was another good episode. And everything that we get to see in it really leads to more and more of what's to come. And it really shows that this series is really good. And that's the really crazy part about the CW is that they're putting out really bad shows right now. Like Batwoman, Walker's really not that good. They're trying to do a live action version of Powerpuff Girls, and that's going to be a disaster as well. You know, so they're doing all this cringe stuff, but then, you know, even Supergirl isn't very good. But then we get this series that is been fantastic for 7 episodes. And that's what you want. You know, you want that for your you know, like a series. And they're producing it with this, but it doesn't really connect with the rest of the DC multiverse, it feels like. I believe this is is supposed to be a separate Earth from Earth 1, which that shouldn't be the case because of the fact that they have the multiverse. They set it up in, you know, last year. But overall, I would give this episode an 8 out of 10 easily. And please leave a comment down below and let me know what you thought about this episode. If you guys like what I do, please hit the like button and subscribe as I'll be doing more content. Take care for now, everybody.